So did you really beat Todd Ice at one point? We are back, episode 3, BEASTcamp Podcast, season 4, with the one and only Big MIJO. Burr, 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 burr.
What it do, y'all?
Yes, we have two. Is this our second creator of KRUMP on the podcast? We have Prissy, and I think that's it.
Yep, yeah. We gotta get Chaz and Lil C on here.
Yeah, Lil C.
That'd be amazing.
And Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot to talk about, but first we just want to check in, like, how you feeling, MIJO?
I'm feeling really good. My body is recovering from hard work. I'm currently working on a project with Mariah Carey.
Nice.
If you guys can come out and see the show, what is it? Celebration of the Emancipation Mimi Tour. It's a residency in Vegas. We're at the MGM Grand. Come check your boy out. I'm KRUMPing. I'm doing some jazz, some old school hip hop, a lot of performing. But yeah, we just got out of rehearsal, a little 5 days straight.
Dang.
And my body was hurting, but I'm feeling good right now, man.
Do you want to kind of talk about, like, the rehearsal phases, just to bring some light on how much work that really is?
Yeah. We're past the creation process, which is a blow, because they could have easily made up some new numbers.
Right.
But you are a tool of movement, so you have to submit all your ego at these moments, because there's one person coming up with or two coming up with whatever the creative process is, and you're just sweating for hours, bro, for hours. We had how many hours was we there these past days? I feel like 6, 7 hours these past days. And this is when, we know something. Sometimes, these gigs could be a little bit more extensive as far as the time, because of the building, but the fact that we're just sharpening these moves. The 6 hours should be suffice. But we in there working, my G's. Like, yesterday we got it in. We did the show, I believe, like 2-3 times, and then also cleaning. The cleaning is the most irritable part, because body shapes are not the same. You know what I'm saying? So getting everybody to be, their idea of picture perfect becomes tedious and fucking tiring, bro.
Yeah.
So
I can't imagine.
I'm happy that I took some time to, like, try to develop my body physically. Like, I was actually back in the weight room. That has helped to be a little sharper, to be a little bit more grounded in my movement. So I'm happy that I've taken that time in this off period to kind of get back in the weight room. But it's hard work, guys. For the ones that desire that, I desire that. Like, I love being a part of a process where I'm needed, but it's also a team building process as far as, like, accountability to the moves, and bringing their element. I'm picked to be an entity of my background. Like, I'm there to give, like, a hood vibe in this setting, and to also give KRUMP at a performance that they're desiring, and do choreo and stuff like that. So I have to be accountable to do that, and to be a part of this Avenger team that they've created in their eyes. So it's a lot of fun if you look at it like that. but it's a lot of work no matter who's looking at it. So, like the workload is there. Pause.
So what what drew you to like this lane of like dance? So I mean, obviously you come from like street dance, freestyle, and then knowing you over the years, like your love for choreography, creating, and then being in these types of jobs just as much as being in, you know, like the usual jobs that like we do, like fly out, teach workshops, battle, whatever it is. Like what kind of like drew you in or made you into that world?
I would say first what you just said, like street dance. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't got a taste for wanting more, I guess. But traveling and doing what is natural, but also, you know, like culture just has a standard. So expectation builds like people work habits. You feel me? So like I feel like going down that lane has helped me like, damn, what can we do more? And then knowing street dancers like K-Mail, who's a hella known b-boy dancer, was like Erykah Badu's dancer for so long. So many soulful artists this dude has also danced for. So I started to hear about like freestylers that also did like commercial stuff but still doing them. And that was kind of like, you know, just a look over there. But after the opportunity of working like with Madonna, with the bros, to be honest, like Spartan did that job, Chez did that job, Moe did the job, we all did the promo tour. That made me start to look at, damn, there's a whole nother side that we're not really tapping in. I got to wanting to know why, but over the why, I just started doing the shit, and I was already in it. I didn't even give a fuck about why nobody was doing it anymore. I just wanted to do it. I was like, well, if y'all not over here, bro, like I'm not about to keep asking why you not going to this audition. I'm just gonna go to the audition. Like,
right.
And whoever's there is there. But and then I come like I played sports. I don't want to say I come from sport. I played sports for a very long time. So like that also has a certain expectation of like work and output. So I desire that in certain workspaces. Like that makes me feel like, all right, I'm putting in my just due when things feel of that nature. So like doing Madonna's first tour kind of gave me that feeling. I'm like, damn, this kind of feels like I'm working hard.
Any advice for people that want to transition from street dance to this, and also encourage people like how you encouraged me to get in my choreo bag? I remember we was chilling at my crib and he was like, yeah, you're wasting your time doing all these like stupid ass battles and you're not doing your choreo game up. So yeah, I was like, okay, bet, watch. And I think that was like last year, and then probably one of the best decisions I made, and also one of the best advice I got. And yeah, just being a creative. So any advice for people that wants to get in that? Because for sure right now it seems like dancing with artists seems like more and more possible, you know. Seeing people like Sketch, Herc, Rage with Usher, you know, Concrete's there too, and not just them, like other street dancers like JT who just moved here, and then now he's with Chris Brown, and he's one of the coldest like house dancers, and he does other styles, but yeah, I met him through house. And yeah, then next thing you know, he was like, oh, I'm doing a tour with Chris Brown. So any advice or debunk some things or just whatever about
I think it's a lot easier than what people, you know, build up. The most important thing is getting an agent. How do you get an agent? That's like your journey. There's 3 agencies out here that are huge. There's more that are available. There's 3 that are like, these are the agencies, you know. You got Clear Talent, you got Block Agency, you got MSA. I've been a part of 2 of them. Like, you could start shopping yourself maybe go into these agencies and say, how do I be a part of this? So, something as simple as that. Like, it's so vague, but some type of conversation can be provoked from that. You know what I'm saying? The typical things to do is like have an EPK, which is like electronic press kit, or like, and that's like just your videos in a timely manner for people to see your talent. I say timely, you don't want your shit 3 minutes. Ain't nobody watching nobody for 3 minutes. Like, you want it to be like a minute tops, some dope highlights, and then have like some headshots. This is the old-fashioned way of getting the agency, and that can help you get into situations where you can start doing commercials, auditions for things like music videos and tours and blase blase. Other than that, work on your craft. Continue to do whatever style you're doing. If you're a krumper, whatever, and then get your butt in class, so you can learn how to pick up choreo or feel the pressure of maintaining some choreo, because that's what you're going to be doing. Majority of the jobs, you're not just freestyle. Like we mentioned Sketch and Hercules. Like, these dudes are monsters at doing choreography. Like, not fake monsters. Like, they could perform their ass off, and they've developed the skill of picking up, you know, other styles like KRUMP. So like, that's like an added, like, what we got to do is be able to blend in that world, which is maintaining steps, like picking up the steps. And it's just an added tool that we all need. And I think it's a challenge, like, go and do it. Like, people know it, people are just not doing it because either they're not into it. As far as choreo, I think for the ones that can or that want to do it, just create. Just start doing it. Start to put moves together. Put it on people. Put it on yourself. You're used to performing things full out. See how that look. Start to curate what your idea of movement is to you. What you attract. What you're capable of doing. And then grow from there. Think about, like, this art is accessible to anybody. Like, ain't nobody tell you can't do it. Like, people be wasting time telling people what they can't do, or like, just go and do it. And then if it doesn't look like something that is pleasing to you, get back into the lab and recreate. Like, figure out what you can use from it. I think it's simple.
Solid. Solid advice. Get an agent. We even have like the other resume, which is like social media, which is a lot of people are getting booked off of that too.
For sure.
But also be broad and open to what you can offer. So,
and then start thinking about it, man. We already play with it, but pause. Start thinking about yourself as an artist. So caring about the way that your image is looking, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you can understand what you're pushing yourself towards. Like, I just named 3 agencies. Like, which one is like, I'm pushing myself towards this hip hop look. I'm pushing myself towards like a grunge look. Like, where does that even exist? Is that like, who's dressing like that? Who's like, you need to figure it out for yourself. Like, because there's certain choreographers that are attracted to certain things, you feel me? So there's certain agencies, there's certain cultures that have a certain look, so start to develop that. Care about the way that you look. I think that's important. Hygienes as well, like your body, like being in shape. Hopefully that has nothing to do with hygiene. Yes, it does. Right? I don't know. Please take care of them teeth. I'm not the one to be talking, but my shit ain't crazy. But care about your image, man.
So speaking of image, like, what is part of like your first memory of like MIJO being like MIJO, or like, you know, basically your origin? Like, what is like some of your first dance memories and how it like started to cultivate your identity in and out of the dance floor?
Dang. I would think Laylo.
Laylo, the clown?
Yep, Laylo Clowns. Like auditioning for this clown group started to give me a backbone in the dance community. Just me doing that. Because I used to be so shy when it came to the idea of like dancing. I just felt like that vulnerability wasn't something I was really tapped into. So practicing with Ches and the bro Darnell at the time was just like, that was cool, but I didn't have confidence in doing this shit like really anywhere else. So we used to practice like it's little bigger groups like at school and shit, but it still didn't feel like pressure was on me to like execute anything. So I don't know, having the feel of an audition for those dudes and then getting it and then starting to see like how I can develop myself even more made me start to realize, oh shit, I'm caring about that imagery, that part of being an artist kind of early. And then shit, after that, shortly, niggas got the opportunity to dance for Tommy the Clown, which was like, Tommy was the man, bro. He built something from like 92 all the way to we seen him as like 10 years in of him doing like really heart to heart, in your face marketing, dancing for this dude. Anybody was feeling like they was somebody, bro. Like their little crew were like, it was so funny, bro. Tommy could do no wrong in the hood, bro. These little kids was bad as hell, and they was like adults. It was crazy having to get through these little kids to even deal with like the big crew. It was funny, but once I became a part of that, it stamped it. It was a wrap. I couldn't do like, I didn't really give a fuck about being bad anymore, which was dope.
That's dope.
Like I'm not caring about I'm doing anything wrong. Now I'm just existing in myself, and they are kind of accepting me for my efforts. So it's like, it was different. Once I felt family from them, I felt like MIJO the Clown was really like, I don't know, something. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. How were these auditions like? Like what did you have to do?
That's funny with they had like this little party, I would say like a hop out type of ordeal. It was to Peaches and Cream. Y'all remember that?
That's right.
112.
Yeah.
Peaches and Cream. They had like a little crib walking segment to that, or clown walking, that we had to learn. It was that, and I believe another number we had to learn. We had to perform that, and then we had to freestyle. And if they wanted you to battle, you had to battle and shit like that.
Sheesh.
I didn't have to
all
battle.
in one day.
All in one day. I didn't have to battle. I did the freestyle.
Why not?
Huh?
Why didn't you have to battle?
Because they just didn't pick me.
Oh, that's crazy.
Which is amazing.
Are you still mad?
About not getting picked? Hell no, it was like 70 people. Like, Ches didn't get picked either. Like, it was just like, niggas didn't get picked.
That's crazy.
Now, Ches had to battle Prissy when we were there, but that's not the same audition.
It's linking the stories.
She talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's real as fuck. But that was her audition, which was really funny. That shit was funny as fuck. Cause that's my sis, and I don't fuck with this nigga, but Chaz used to be putting his hands on motherfuckers, bro. He whipped their feet. That shit was funny.
Damn, I wish I could see that.
It was so live though. It's just because, niggas already had somewhat of the sauce, but Prissy whooped him as far as elegance because she just knew how to emote from a different place. So that's what made, and when I say whoop, back in the days, it's like what you could really highlight in yourself that made you special is typically how you're getting an ooh and an ah. You feel what I'm saying? So like, Ches had no elegance whatsoever that he wanted to present at the time, but he came from that world. But Prissy was like, I'm in that shit. So her hip hop was cool, but then she started moving different. It's like, what is that?
Yeah.
That is crazy right there.
That's funny. So I'm curious. I think I'm trying to remember from my memory bank, but there's so much that was said about like your contribution to the creation of KRUMP, but I don't remember it being said from you, you know. And I
Right.
think it'd be really interesting
To talk
because
about.
yeah, because like, you know, like people would say like MIJO, like when you battled Spartan, I remember, you know, all MIJO is like the free side of KRUMP, and I remember, you know, Ches was mad at that because like, what, like we're all free, you know, like what do you mean by like
Right.
the freedom of it, which is true, you know.
But we all are free.
Yeah, so that's why it's just
People's
interesting,
interpretation is just funny as
right? That you brought in the combos, like Ches was more the material
I was
head.
definitely a part of that.
Yeah. Side story, I remember when me and MIJO like first hung out, it was in Germany. He already knows. I think I flew in a little bit later. I started labbing right away. He stopped my lab and just said, so where did combos come from? And I was like, what? And mind you, I'm like still barely new in the, you know, in like the traveling game and all that and the teaching workshops and stuff. And I was like, in my head, I was like, this isn't even important. Like, why are you quizzing me right now, you know? I'll do a combo. Like,
I 100 on your ass right, now. You sneaking.
yeah, so 181st in Broadway?
Yeah.
Yep. All
Yeah.
right, cool. So then, yeah. And then it was funny. Yeah, Eyes
But
said
long,
that.
But long.
But long.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that, or he asked that question in his workshop like hours later, and I just looked at MIJO like, but yeah, I just am curious on like what would you say was like your contribution to like the creation of KRUMP?
Damn. Man, you know.
And don't be humble. That's like
I've been thinking about shit that I was like thoroughly like in that living room, niggas having a conversation. Like breaks. That's all those transitions from clowning into that wobble. Train. Bump. This is whatever. Cannonball, back of the bus. Man. At this time, syncs was already a thing.
Mhm.
Like, so I would think like I helped that type of shit and like buck ups, like little conceptual ideas that allowed us to breathe a little bit outside of just the standard, but kind of have like a conceptual idea going, like combos, but it's not a combo. It's something else that's keeping me on pace. Or I don't know, man.
What about like the like more of like the bully side? Not
But
really
see,
like
that's so funny because that's what KRUMP is now. Like everybody has a demeanor that is like tough. So I wouldn't say, you know, I created that. Like there's a lot of niggas that would say the first time me seeing something done that was masculine and looked like it was coming from this hood was from MIJO. But that's just because I'm an athlete and a lot of niggas was trying to dance. I wasn't just trying to dance, nigga. I was just trying to prove that I could move. But like, of course I am trying to dance. I'm trying to get this clownish shit, but I'm pulling from something different. I'm pulling from sports versus at the time Ches was flashy as fuck. Like, so the strength was something that he was into later. But like I was kind of into that like now. That was like just something that I wanted to play with early. So textures of certain shit started to be kind of like something that I played with early. Force, speed change, burst of energy. Like, because I remember when I came back and Ches was like, bro, KRUMP. What the fuck did this nigga say? KRUMP is back where it used to be.
What year was this?
This is like what? I came back like 07, 08 from school. I graduated 08, but I started to come back like fucking with niggas in his circle, like around that time.
Daisy!
There's a little gap, of course. Come sit down, Daisy. She went and put on an outfit.
Quick
Now you got a mic.
Yay! Where'd you get the MIJO name for the people that don't know?
My boy Clive Haylock. He's my best friend. His family, his Belizean family, used to call me MIJO. And that shit just stuck. I was looking for a fucking name when we auditioned for Laylo. And he was there. He's the guy that drove me and Chaz to the audition. I was like, I don't have a name.
I could see it.
I was stressing.
Yeah. That's what...
Fucking dramatic as fuck about something so small. And he was like, nigga, just name yourself MIJO. I was like, man, like MIJO the Clown, that shit's gonna be crazy. And now today,
that's great.
that dumbass name is still.
What about Street Bully? Did you name yourself that or?
No, it was like me and the bros. Like Chaz kind of helped me find that character or alter ego, and the nigga just ran with the shit.
And then your newest one
is Normandy. Yeah. That's me. That's self-proclaimed, trying to rekindle the laving thoughts of when I was in on Normandy. So once again, that cusp of like leaving clowning and going into KRUMP. So all that shit that I was just naming.
Where does the lane come from? Because Normandy is Avenue, correct?
Yeah.
So is there like a branch off of that you kind of?
I mean, well, I grew up on 109 Place in Normandy. So Place is another branch off of streets out here. So lane, it doesn't have like any like crazy significance. It was just like a term that I wanted to say outside of place or street.
Interesting. Yeah, because
What lane? Normandy Place.
Normandy
Place. Why'd you say? No, you're good. Place.
Normandy Place. It's funny as.
Let's go J Place. Like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's street. I was over that shit with my street culture. I was like, I'm already trying to do something with that. Some lane, yeah. Normandy Lane, head ass over here.
Well, let's get to my favorite question. Is so where do you guys and Daisy and girls see the current stage of KRUMP as of right now?
I actually think if it's existing, it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a bunch of shit I could complain about. But the fact that we exchange dollars in each other's hands for business, the fact that niggas share art, the fact that folks is out here creating, I can't really try to harp on the little shit, especially because I'm moving right now. Like, I got motion.
Man.
So, like, I'm really out of sight, out of mind. Like, the shit bothered me when I think about KRUMP. But on the other hand, I could definitely nitpick at myself. Bitch ass Chaz. Like, just leaders in our community. I could just nitpick at a bunch of shit. Yeah, even the spectators, like, shut the fuck up. Like, there's so many outsiders that's not really from the root of any of this. And I say root, like, you're not connected to none of the first, second, third generation niggas. And then you're not even connected to the niggas that's connected. So, like, all you other niggas that's like 5th, 6th, 7th, that's not doing any work, I just be wishing y'all could just help by being patient a little bit more, or just saying the shit that's healthy. But we're in a time of just like picking sides or just saying what the fuck you want to say. That like all of it can just be talked about. Like, so the state of KRUMP is motion. Like, motherfuckers is leaving, going all over the place. But like, there's a lot of little intricate shit that we could really sit here and have a 5-hour, 6-hour, 10-hour goddamn podcast because it's a bunch of young motherfuckers growing, trying to make something of themselves, and people think that they got the answers when nobody really got the answers, right? Like, we all trying to figure it out, and we have, you know what I'm saying, niggas, we out here pointing the finger. But my current state, I'm beefing with a nigga, and it's gonna be forever. And for some reason, me and this nigga beef sends waves in our community that other people get to moving off of. And that's neither one of our faults. We're just being who we are in our community. So I think, you know, we could be cognizant of that shit and not and now I'm talking about myself, you know, and not really voice what it is, but fuck that. And fuck you, Ches. I can't wait for you to get this raw version. Like, it's forever up. Like, you have no loyalty. And when I think about this part of KRUMP, I think about you. You are the seed of spreading that non-loyalty, having as favoritism as if I like the nigga, I'm gonna move on that, opposed to moving what's at heart and what's visible through feeling. You's a bitch, bro. Like, you's a bitch. And that's the reason why I'm not gonna quit. And that's why this is always gonna be a topic, because it ain't gonna be no resolving it. Niggas like you is a cancer, bro. And I didn't have the ability to feel that shit until late. And I'm thanking God that he allowed me to see you. So, besides our little beef, you know what I'm saying, that kind of sends the ripples through our community the way that it does, there's a lot of good shit that's happening.
Mm.
There's a bunch of good shit. Like, I'm here at the BEASTcamp, nigga, where they provide KRUMP on all sorts of fucking levels. Raw podcasts like this, classes, nigga, battles, teaching experiences. Like, that's an entity that's in KRUMP. You got some new shit that's cracking off right now. What's that? What's the KCS?
KCS, yeah.
Niggas going, they throwing out $3,000 for niggas to devote some time and be good at the craft. Like, EBS is still going. Like, FCD has a media service that pumps out hella content. Like, it's motion. Mm-hmm. It's so much motion in KRUMP. Like, there's hella music that's out. Like, focusing on this stupid shit. It's just what it is. It's just niggas being niggas. But there's a lot of good shit in this community. So I think the current state is gonna be what it is until, like, you know, people devise a plan to like keep upping the state. Like, and then eventually it's gonna be a bunch of us that's millionaires. But right now they're just trying to hit the millie ball and be successful for a company that's doing that through KRUMP or through another entity. But, you know, people are trying to be mentally sane and wealthy at the same time. So I think the financial situation is what niggas is trying to like figure out right now at KRUMP. But that's gonna happen. And if it happens through art or through collaboration of niggas like getting businesses, and it's gonna happen. So right now I think that is like the main goal. Other than that, the talent is just doing what the talent do. It always get better.
Mm. What's like one or maybe two things that you feel like the movement like needs right now?
I seriously think we need like a Congress meeting where people don't get together to dance. There's 3 days of just talking. Talking about things that we think can preserve this culture that is important, right? The history to me is important. It's the only reason why a nigga like me is even doing KRUMP, just to let niggas know, like, what my people died early. And I'm talking about motherfuckers, my family, my father, both of my brothers died early. So I was always the type of nigga that said, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna make my name last. Like, this is why I try so hard in whatever I'm doing, bro. So my history matters, and my history is connected to other people that I care about, and then their history matters to them as well. So like, I think a day to history, like we're all trying to gather the right history right now, right? And then businesses, like the businesses that's in this movement, I think forming a network that is like a little bit more solid than what it is, something should be dedicated to like that. And then maybe like, I don't know, like treating this big homie, little bit homie shit a little bit with a little bit more care. And care is just giving time to it. And then niggas could develop like what we're saying and what we're doing, but like this exists, which is somewhat of a brotherhood, which reminds me of like frat shit. And nigga, the frat is organized, bro. And the frat is built off of friendship. Niggas is organized in friendship, for people that don't understand this. So there's levels to everything in life, my nigga. So the shit that we could be doing with this little big homie shit is a lot more detailed, but we're not even opening a give a fuck. We keep giving a fuck about dance. I don't know. I think that just felt like a good exit.
Yeah, no.
My bad.
No, you're good. No.
I looked over to the bro like.
No, I looked over to Mac.
Yeah, mailman just came. I heard like
funny.
a crash at the front.
Yeah, speaking on preserving the history, it just seems like right now is a dope time of like the KRUMP and clown like community.
The West is back, baby.
Yeah, I guess I don't even know, like communicating again. Do you want to like speak, or both of you guys want to speak upon that, like the process? How does it feel, and even how can that like help with like the future?
Yeah, I'm gonna say a little bit, and I'm gonna pass it to the sis. Shout out to Boomer.
Whoop, whoop.
Shout out to Rocco. Both of these dudes put in mad work in our community as far as preserving a piece of our culture that we all had a lot of loving and great memories off of, which is clowning. So yeah, they threw me in this chat with a bunch of the bros and a bunch of the sis that I've kind of been out of touch with for a while, but not at the same time. But getting us all in one hub is crazy. Thank you, Instagram, for being able to create little things like this for us to play with. But yeah, I've been connected with like people that I consider like my inspiration when I was a kid. Like I will forever treat Larry as such, you feel me? Or like a La Nina or El Nino, because all these dudes like inspire me before I even thought about performing. So like just being in the chat with all of them and Twister, blase, like it gives a great idea to the pecking order that was not even spoke of. It was just there because we respect the way that we got our inspiration. So it's dope to just, be who I am. Like I got a lot of confidence in the shit that I've done because like I actually stayed with it. Like a lot of niggas ain't stayed with it. So like I stayed with it and now I'm doing other shit. So like I know who the fuck I am, but I'll still humble myself just to a big degree when I'm talking to certain people that I really know that I got my juice from. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. So it's dope to be able to be connected with a lot of these bros and sisters that I consider like big homies, but without saying that they the big homie. Like, even though I was like Twister is the big homie in this clowning shit, which is dope. This is a little kid. Like, even when he was a little kid, like, he was still, like, my big homie when I got a part of Tommy. Like, that, we used to have that much respect for Tom, you know what I'm saying? So, it's dope to be able to be a part of the community again and really be chopping it up. I'm about to give it to the sis.
Nah, but yeah, the chat, yeah, they get in there every day. Like, starting at 6 something in the morning, J Smooth.
Talking some shit.
It's just crazy, but like, it's cool to see. Like, Larry, he'll put just like memories from like, I think 96, 97, like Tommy at the Martin Luther King parade, like him, and the 5.0 with like the early, like his earliest hip hop clowns, like that kind of footage. It's another guy that's on YouTube right now. He just posted Battle Zone 4 from 2002. So like,
That's my shit.
it's crazy. Yeah, MIJO was in it. Tight was in it. Like, just going back is helping even me remember stuff as a kid, as a clown. And like he said, just kind of like being in that space where you're acknowledging like the true OGs. Like, we talk a lot about OGs and all that. In the current state of KRUMP, everybody want to be recognized for, you know, what they're doing in their communities. And you should be. But to me, it's like he said right now, it's like big West Coast. And it just feels like it's an ode to that, like really going back and seeing who really like laid the foundations, and, like, really started this stuff to where I'm going back and remember being at Tommy's Academy and seeing like a Riri, who a lot of females in KRUMP today don't know anything about her, but she, to me, had like the rawest bang ever. And I remember being like 11, 12, looking at her, making the craziest faces and just going nuts. And to like be in that space and see like, dang, like that legacy, that thing is what like gave me some drive at that time. And to still be here in 2024 and, you know, become who I became in KRUMP is just crazy. Like, the evolution for real. Like, it's really culture. Like, clowning in KRUMP is really like, I don't even know where, well, I guess I do a little bit, but like the beef aspect as far as like now, like, I don't know, to me that it doesn't really exist. Like, because it's so like just cross cultured in nature. I feel like to truly understand, like, to talk about essence, like, you really do gotta know about clowning. Like, you really have to understand what was going on here, because it was multiple groups. Like, the way that we have FAMs now, like, the group aspect was highlighted in clown dancing, and you literally seen it like Sunday nights on Crenshaw Boulevard while they out there with the lowriders and all that. You see clowns actively dancing on that wall down there. Like, that was a thing, being at Venice Beach, being at Club Clowning, being at the Soda Pop. Like, all of these iconic, you remember the 212?
Coca-Cola 212, yeah.
This was
Patriotic
like,
Call?
yes. Like,
What?
these is like teen club nights, like,
Do you hear her?
going,
Teen.
yeah.
We had spots.
Yeah.
Really, it was, the movement was so, it was so different.
Yeah, it was so lit. Like, hopping out at a red light in your truck from whatever group you was in, like, even if you was like the weakest clown group, which
Do you hear?
my group started off weak as
The
weak.
weekend, I don't even care.
But like,
Imagine how many people was doing it, bro. In KRUMP, niggas be feeling like you gotta be good. Like, what? Nigga, I'm just here to dance, bro. And you not even nice anyway. Like, why you acting like that? Like, it'd be crazy, just the energy. When we came in, it was so opening. Like, yes, we want you to be good eventually, but we want you doing this shit. Like, bro.
it was so lit. Because too, like, I think clowning also had like a partying aspect to it. Like, you would go to the academy, and of course Tommy had like the battle nights, but then it's just just dancing, like really being in the scene, and then like everybody kind of had their place too, like Tommy and High Class, like that show, like the who's the clowning, and then like this is who you looking at as the blueprint of what you want to get like with your group. And then don't talk about Battle Zone, like that was
a whole nother,
like that's the Grammys. Like,
oh my God. It was Six Flags for us. It was crazy. It was, nah.
The Hop Out is really like, that's a thing. Like I feel like we need like just a little docu-series on that. The Hop Out, like.
Unless you done brew up a new podcast, The Hop Out. Where you get nothing but clowning and crunk.
Nah, yeah. It's
I just came up with a tag and everything.
and you see, and that's how stuff has started, like just in what we do. Like we could just talk about stuff. Like I think the idea about coming together for 3 days is amazing, just to talk. Because there's so much information. Like even today when I'm teaching like a KRUMP class, I feel like it's not enough time to really cover, because it's just so much to the dance. Like it's so much depth and so many layers. So like coming together to just talk about everything.
I think it's severely important if we're trying to preserve this culture. And if people are really trying to like pass the right history down and make people lives matter in this story, I think that will be important. And I feel like that's important, folks. So hopefully we get there.
Yeah, how important do you guys think of like learning all of this, like history and also movement wise, like learning a little bit of clowning and where it comes from with like KRUMP? Like how important do you guys think? Like if someone is day one in KRUMP, like would you how important do you think that is? Like do you also think that was like a missing part of like people coming into KRUMP probably like 5 years ago, and then with what people are kind of saying that like KRUMP lost its like bounce or lost something, that's always something that's said. Do you think it's because the full history, even movement wise, wasn't really explored? It just started with just like KRUMP. Do you think like
I think in order to be KRUMP, you gotta have the experience that person had. Right? So if Chaz, say if it was nobody else and it was just Chaz, what was your experience, Chaz? Did you have a long period of time of clown dancing before you made this up? Yes. Then shut the fuck up first. Niggas go have this experience. So now you can be caught up in your vibration as far as this dance enough to then receive whatever new shit that this man is about to teach you. Right? Or because then it's easier for you to kind of understand and vibe off of certain things. I just think.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't want to. Anyway, like I can just think of 100 analogies where.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem right that you'll tell me to skip that part.
Right.
Like, nigga, I want your juice, nigga.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No. Yeah. I agree. I agree with that, because right now the talk in KRUMP is essence, and you can see it on our true OG. Like it's just a certain way that we swag stuff. Like if you go back and watch his battle against Ruin,
I beat you, Ruin. Bad.
It's just like
Sorry.
It's a certain way in Mijo's approach to how he moves, how he thinks. Like it's just a certain, like if you know type of thing. But I feel like it comes from just that whole, like you said, that experience. Like just the way he delivers certain stuff. And I think people are after that now because they've gotten, all the new wave stuff. Like I think a lot of people have now like caught up to just looking super clean in a certain way, and the hits and the isolation and all of that shit. But it's like the dancing part, like just a certain groove, and yeah, like it's just certain.
I've been teaching that my workshops and papers. No, two step.
Oh yeah, I've been teaching some clown stuff too. Just because, yeah, it puts you in that space of that experience. Like
I've been teaching clown dancing, and y'all was talking about me when I first was doing it.
That's facts.
You freaks, man. Y'all are. I'm literally trying to give you my experience, and y'all like this nigga ain't giving this sauce.
Hey, I was one for the first workshop. It was in Vegas after the arcs. And I remember that's when I first saw day ones. I saw the whip.
Niggas like, what the fuck is
all
this,
these.
man?
So I was like,
why? Why are you giving me this long ass movement? I don't know, man. I just think it's important to give you niggas the culture.
Wobble.
Yeah, I think that's necessary in life too. I think we get kind of like taught to kind of like stray away from our cultures, like even in ethnicity or like different walks of life. Like wherever you are, you kind of adapt to where you at, and you might not necessarily, unless you got people in your family that make sure, like, nah, you gonna know your history, you gonna know where you came from. Like you kind of just, you know, people tend to be followers, so they just
came from Chaz.
So I mean, with that being a major, you know,
niggas like fuck the whip.
Yeah.
Fuck the bangs.
Yeah.
It's his bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was no chest bang before it. This nigga is crazy, bro.
Yeah. These were facts.
Main focus.
11 years old, 3 a.m. in August. It's crazy. Diabolical work.
I remember one story that MIJO told me. It was at the 818, and I'm just saying this because for the people that's watching, especially if you're interested in KRUMP, that answer is literally what helped me like propel and go like very far. Because yeah, like you want to experience your teacher's experience and whoever. So I remember MIJO was telling me like one of his first memories of Chez was like, it was a play where he had a big trench coat and his head was like out, and he was just narrating what he was doing. And from there, it made sense of why Chez had this advantage over the character part, which was acting, you know, because they were part of like
a really good theatrical program at Washington Preparatory High School. You could go look up this dude, this director named Mark Switten. He writes right now for Tyler Perry a lot of this shit. So like, yeah, Chez had that talent early
for sure,
or at least somebody honing in on him having this talent to emote, because he was very creative, bro.
Yeah.
Which probably hints to himself this essence that he probably had ever since he was fucking 7 or 11. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's talking about. I don't know. That nigga ain't never told me this. That's another reason why I'm mad at that Chez. I've been your friend for so long. You wait and tell me about KRUMP, nigga, when I'm thinking we accidentally felt like you've been knowing this shit the whole time, bro. Like, tell me that you know the dance, nigga, so we could be better than niggas. You wait so long. You make me go through this very gruesome ass process of being vulnerable. You're like the worst Mr. Miyagi on fucking earth if you had this shit the whole time, bro.
If. Comment down below. Do you believe it was made at 11 a.m.? No. It's not 11 a.m. 3 a.m. At 11 years old.
She's bothered. Little stuff like that will, you know, mess up a lot of us. Like, Chez, you waited though. Why are you waiting? That's the most irritating part. It's not the fact that you made it up. Like, you did. Why you wait, my nigga? Why you wait?
I didn't know that y'all was a part of a program.
A theatrical program when I first met him. I mean, we all took Mr. Swinton's class, and then a lot of us became in his plays, and that's when I started to really see this nigga. I'm like, I was working. I did a lot of stage production and shit in high school. A lot of it, lighting, all type of shit.
That's good.
But yeah, seeing this dude was incredible. I was like, who the fuck? And then him clowning at the time was even crazy. I was like, this nigga clown dance different for sure. So maybe that's the essence that he's talking about. I think he had a new pastor pray over him, and the pastor told him that you've been having KRUMP, nigga, since you 11. We still on your shit, boy.
All right, last question. I think we're doing good on time. I think last question is using our imagination and wishful thinking and prayers. Where do you see KRUMP going in the future, or where would you like it to be in the future?
You want to do that first? Or? Let me go.
You could just open discussion it. I think it could be a little more mainstream, and I don't necessarily mean like
exploitation.
Yeah, like commercialized, watered down, but just like more present amongst people that aren't necessarily, prevalent in what we have right now. Because I feel like we're the biggest underground thing happening. And it's crazy that we exist like literally on every continent, I think, except for Antarctica. And yeah, like people aren't aware that it's still around, that KRUMP wasn't just like this trendy thing of the early 2000s. Like it's literally been standing the test of time and growing and getting better and just like...
Which I think we don't want y'all to know. Because we're going to figure it out ourselves, and then we're going to get rich on y'all. Exactly what's going to happen. So I think there's a reason why a lot of people sleep. And it's the reason why a lot of us had the opportunity to get up into the industry and still work. Once I worked ever since it was 8 years ago, just to let y'all know, as far as KRUMPers. And it's been hard. I'm not saying it's not hard.
Yeah.
But I've consistently booked something every year for the last 8 years. Bro.
That's right.
That was a lit.
We're going to become something crazy. This is what I think in the future.
Super facts.
It's going to be monstrous. It's just the way that Americans do it. We're just better than y'all.
I do have one fun question for Mijo. Top 5 favorite KRUMPers. Go.
Right now? Top 5 right now?
First, yeah. We could do it right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Next time it'll be all time.
Okay. All right.
And it don't gotta be in order too, just like
Proof.
that's one.
5. Can I still call it nigga that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bruiser, yeah.
Bruiser. Sorry. Beast.
He just saying that because just
That's 3.
1K.
Hey, I can't wait to tell him that. Dave, dope. Damn, I got one more fun question, but it might be longer. So, did you really beat Todd Ice at one point? Like I said, we hear all these things, but not from you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, did you really beat Todd Ice back then?
I just recently lost to Tight Eyes
At that movie joint.
at the movie shit.
But back then.
And just to let y'all
He said,
niggas know, he didn't kill me every round. I won the first 2 rounds out the gate. and then he won 3. I'm just letting niggas understand, and I wasn't as familiar as I am now. But I have had a moment where I dropped some shit that I wasn't supposed to be dropping because it was for a battle. And I dropped it on the homie. And niggas and the homies left it alone. They left whatever dance situation we was doing. So niggas would say kill off. They left the situation alone. That's how drastic whatever I dropped landed. That it was over.
Damn, where did this happen?
This was right in front of Mama Toon House, where we used to session all the time. It was just the timing, though. I think I have a decent amount of understanding of timing. My slow shit be landing on shit at times. But I don't think that was like that's, a kill off is like a Hail Mary. Or like a big game touchdown. Or, a big game position for a field goal or a last second shot. That's not really saying that you're better than a nigga. I do not think that I'm better than Chaz. I don't even have that feeling in my body to want to give a fuck about that. But Chaz, you're going to have to deal with me, buddy. I'm done.
We're gonna do this again because this was super lit. Thank you to MIJO, Daisy, Rev behind the camera doing all the magic work. See you guys next time.